Have you ever felt it? That sudden tremor inside you, as if reality itself blinked. One day, everything seems ordinary. The next, it's as though you've been pulled out of a dream you didn't know you were dreaming. This is how awakening begins. Not with light, but with confusion. A silent crack forms in the structure of your identity. The person you thought you were, the one with opinions, goals, fears, memories, begins to feel like a character you're watching from outside. It's disorienting. You look around and realize that people seem asleep, repeating patterns, defending illusions. But then it hits you. You were one of them too. You have mistaken the echo of thought for the sound of truth. Awakening isn't a choice. It's an earthquake of the soul. It happens when consciousness grows tired of pretending to be small. The next stage feels like death, but it's not your body that dies. It's the story. The image you built, your name, status, beliefs, fears, begins to crumble like an abandoned temple. This is the ego's collapse. For years it convinced you it was you. But when you start to watch your own thoughts, something extraordinary happens. The observer awakens. You realize there's a voice inside your head that never stops talking, and another presence that listens. At first, this is terrifying. You feel detached from everything. People call it ego death, but it's really ego truth. The moment you see it for what it is, a mask worn by the infinite to play the game of human life. You might lose things during this phase: friends, careers, attachments. The universe begins a ruthless cleansing, removing everything that was built on illusion. But underneath the ruins, a strange peace begins to rise, a clarity that doesn't come from thought, but from silence. Once the mask collapses, the seeker is born. You begin to question everything. Who am I? Why am I here? What is this place we call reality? This search takes many forms. Some read sacred texts, others meditate, travel, or study science. But all are driven by the same inner fire, the desire to remember something forgotten. In ancient traditions, this was called anamnesis, the remembering of the soul. It's as if a fragment of eternity inside you is trying to reassemble itself. You start noticing synchronicities. The world seems to whisper in patterns. Songs play at the right time. Numbers repeat. People appear with messages disguised as coincidences. You realize reality isn't random. It's responsive. Your thoughts and emotions shape the fabric of what you call life. And as you experiment with this awareness, you begin to sense a deeper intelligence beneath everything. Call it God, source, the field, or consciousness itself. But this stage is not just discovery. It's also danger. The seeker can become lost in endless searching, collecting beliefs, chasing teachers, drowning in information. At some point, you must stop asking and start listening. Because truth doesn't come from words. It comes from silence. After the searching comes the remembering. You begin to feel an identity that existed before your name, a presence untouched by history. This is not about becoming something new, but remembering what was always there. The true self doesn't shout. It observes. It moves like still water, calm, powerful, patient. You no longer feel the need to prove anything. You stop chasing validation. The world's noise loses its grip. Sometimes people think awakening makes life easier. It doesn't. It makes it truer. You may face emotional storms, unhealed pain, grief, the ghosts of your past. They surface not to punish you, but to be freed. Each tear becomes a release. Each loss becomes an initiation. As this purification unfolds, you start to act from authenticity rather than fear. You leave situations that no longer resonate. You create not to be seen, but to express your soul's truth. You realize you are not here to escape the world. You're here to illuminate it. And then one day, without trying, something shifts. You wake up and realize you are no longer searching. You are living as what you were always seeking. This is the life of alignment. The mind serves the heart. The body becomes an instrument of presence. Every breath feels sacred. Every moment alive with intelligence. You see divinity in imperfection. You forgive the world because you finally forgive yourself. You stop needing meaning because everything is meaning. Science calls it coherence. Mystics call it union. It is a realization that everything is one field, expressing itself as infinite forms. You, the trees, the oceans, the stars, all made of the same awareness, experiencing itself from different angles. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. And that realization is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of real living. From that moment, awakening is no longer something you seek. It becomes the way you breathe, love, create, and simply exist. Because consciousness didn't evolve to escape matter. It came here to experience it, to remember itself through it, to turn flesh into light. So if you're watching this and something inside you stirs, trust it. The soul is always calling you home. And home was never somewhere else. It was always you. Maybe awakening isn't about becoming enlightened. Maybe it's about becoming real. Not escaping the dream, but realizing you are the dreamer. And once you know that, you are free to dream consciously. If Jung was right, consciousness is not bound by time or death. It moves, transforms, remembers. And if that's true, then perhaps every you that has ever existed is still learning across dimensions of space and time. So ask yourself, are you awakening or are you remembering? Because sometimes they're the same thing. Stay curious, stay awake, and remember, the next revelation is always waiting in the silence. The journey doesn't end here. Every question you ask is another door opening inside you. The universe is still whispering, and if you can hear it, you are already part of something ancient, something alive. So stay close to this flame. Walk with us between the seen and the unseen. Subscribe, not just to a channel, but to the path of remembering who you truly are.